Hello, hello. This is Irene with Saugatalks. Hello, everyone. I am joined here with me by Ian Moyse. Hello, Ian. How are you?
Hiya, I'm good today. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. The stage is yours because I enjoy immensely talking with fascinating people in tech. If you're listening for the first time, Soga Talks, I run it weekly. There is YouTube channel. Please subscribe, please comment because we want the audience to grow on LinkedIn and Twitter. Today, we're going to talk about technical trends, but we're going to talk about people because tech doesn't make sense, in my experience, if people are not involved and if people are not engaged. So, Ian, thank you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think to your point of giving value to the audience, we all have had different experience journeys. So it's not that I know the particular answers to everything because I've done different things than the listener will have done, right? And that they will know things that I won't know. So it's more often I take part in things such as this, and it's giving insight from the experiences I've had that may help others who experience the same or similar challenges, or just want to get a different viewpoint from someone in a different sector of the industry that will give them different uh, opinions and information to base their decisions upon.
Absolutely. That's what this is all about. So we're looking at 2021 and companies, I'm sure, strategizing and people, I'm sure, looking around in their jobs, in wherever they are, trying to absorb it all, right? And make the best of it, what we have going on in technology and beyond in our lives. So why don't we talk first about what's the tech adoption now? I mean, how do you see the attitudes are changing with everything we've been through?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've worked in the cloud computing sector for about the last 10 years, which drives an incredible amount of innovation. If you think of the world we live in with the Ubers, with the uh, cloud technologies that are around us, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence, underneath all is the ability to digest and use incredible computing power in a flexible manner, which is what cloud computing's done, right? So it's the foundation. And we all hear these terms: digital transformation, businesses trying to be the new, emerge in the new world. We've seen those born in the cloud companies, the Amazons, the Uber I mentioned, the Airbnb, these companies that have innovated, but they didn't exist before this wondrous new technology. They leveraged the new capabilities offered to them to be able to build things that just weren't available before. Before the internet, Amazon wouldn't have had a business, right? So Netflix has transformed itself because of this from a physical competitor in the video distribution market to what it is today, which is a cloud-based streaming service. So what I've seen changed, I think, and particularly bringing it round to where we are now, is attitudes have changed to the speed of adoption.
Mhm.
We've consistently seen over the last decade companies adopting new technologies and it being easier and easier to a degree, switch on something new in this new world compared to the old technology world where a project might take years, billions of dollars, and there was different technologies used by smaller businesses and larger businesses because of those dependencies. What I mean by that is often there was a software product which did a fantastic job, but to utilize it, you needed a lot of infrastructure, which made it priced it out the market for the average company. With the cloud market, you can use the same product in a 10 user business as a 10,000 user business. We see that with many technology providers, Salesforce, Microsoft, Oracle, etc., who their products can be digested in different manner. I've talked often, and I know we chatted before, about one of the barriers, though, of transforming a business is you've got legacy. If you're a new company, what are you going to do? You're going to pick all the new shiny tools. You've got no, you can do what you like because you've got nothing to replace. You haven't got to get out of something into something new. You choose the best you can do because you have that freedom of choice. For existing businesses, they will have legacy applications, people who know how to use those applications and processes, and commitments, whether it be commercially or you know, in infrastructure in the business. So it's not easy just to do this thing called digital transformation that sounds fantastic. And who doesn't want to be in the new world and be able to do things faster, quicker, slicker, more efficiently? But it's how you get there. What I witnessed during COVID in conversations with many clients, and I have the pleasure, due to being involved with industry bodies and a lot of the things I do, and you mentioned the blogging, to engage with not just the business I work in, but I get engagement with a lot of end user customers and get a lot of input from people to learn what's really going on. Is how many businesses had to move quickly to adopt something new, quicker than they ever would have done before. The easiest example that everyone will recognize is video conferencing, right? Think of Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Hangouts. The adoption of those technologies was incredible in a very short time because of necessity. It wasn't out of,
yeah,
it wasn't typically what you do when you're digitally transforming. Is you have a plan. How do we get from here to here, and what benefit will we get from that, and what benefit will it give to our customers, and how are we going to leverage it, and all this stuff. What went on here was, it wasn't a futuristic, how can we get better? It was, we have an immediate pain. We have an immediate problem that is an important one that's just jumped to the top of our agenda. How do we operate? How do we get people talking? They're not in the office. We've just lost physicality between a human employee and between employee and customer. How do we fix that? And people rushed to these platforms, and it proved the elasticity of cloud computing. I think more than anything else has done in history, that none of those technology vendors could have prepared themselves or you know, no one had the foresight what was about to happen. And yet the volume of people globally that ran to those platforms, it just worked. There was a few blips along the way, but nothing drastic or major. It just worked because cloud computing, the elasticity, allowed them just to expand to the demand that was there. If we'd gone back 10, 15 years, we'd still be waiting today in a queue for someone to deploy some more hardware somewhere to get us access to something. None of us would have access to the technology or the capability that we just enjoyed. So, you know, that was a digital transformation overnight through solving a necessity of pain. What I'm seeing now is people more receptive to this because they've just realized, actually, we've had to adjust, we've had to change processes, we've had to impact the human, and the human has had to adjust to something new. Look how tenacious we all are to adjust. Whereas before it was, well, yeah, it's going to be hard. What I saw in conversations with customers was, we'd like to transform, but it feels hard. It feels difficult, and we're going to have to spend it. There was always an excuse for not doing it that outweighed the benefit they were going to get. So you would defer the decision. We'll do that one in 2 years' time. We'll plan to do it in 5 years' time. This became an absolute essential of, doesn't matter what it's going to take. How do we do it? It was, we're going to do it, get us there, not here's all the excuses why we can't achieve this. So it's been an interesting time to watch.
Came to us in 2020 almost, right? This is a decade amount of transformation, right? Businesses and individuals went through. So with this acceleration, which tech do you think will carry us forward? Because again, you mentioned few platforms, but besides the collaboration and future of work kind of platforms, where do you see the most growth? Mm-hmm.
So I think it's in anything that unties you from a physicality. And what I mean by that is the physicality of the location and also the device. Mm-hmm. Because you think right now, there's a knock-on impact. Firstly, there was a necessity to get away from the physicality. So if you had something that worked in the office, and let me give you an example here, let me give you a context. Someone I know that lives not so far away from me, works in the governmental sector. And when this came on, we had a conversation, and it was pretty much, yeah, I'm up and running in systems, but at certain times of the day, the system I'm using grinds to a halt because people come online. So he was getting up early in the morning before other people were up to get onto this system where you could get stuff done. But as soon as certain hours hit, it slowed down because the performance of the system, they'd enabled it to be accessed remotely. It wasn't a cloud-based solution. It was physicality in an office somewhere. They'd enable remote access, but there was a limited amount of bandwidth and a limited amount of compute power there that everyone was using it at the same time. Whereas in the normal work environment, that wouldn't have been the case. So there was more demand put on those systems. So that's one where the physicality of the office changed. How do you adjust to that? The second one is physicality of the device. So for example, I'm sat here talking to you on my laptop, which is great. In the normal world, you'd be in the office some of the time at least. And if the laptop had a failure, guess what would happen is, oh, well, can you come into the office and we'll swap it out or we'll get you another one? But there wasn't everyone in that situation. Now, with more people using these devices at home, with children around, with drinks, with wanting to do schoolwork and perhaps using the same work laptop, and all the change that's gone on, what happens if there's a physical issue here now? Well, guess what? With what we're doing, I could just switch and do this on my phone, which is high-res camera. So it's moving into a more resilient world. So I think any technology that enables decoupling of your human resource and skill and experience from a physical device, I could log in on another PC in 5 seconds and use all the tools that I use because they're all cloud-based. The applications are cloud-based, the email is cloud-based. If I log on another machine, I can be up and running. Apart from opening the tabs and logging in, there is nothing physically tying me to this machine. How easy is it to do that and be more resilient, right? And I think that's the world that we're moving into. We see more people using things like Chromebooks today. We see more people now, working remote than ever before, and I think we're going to see more mobile working from this. Transient users who are more used to using applications that are device independent. That also aids to a degree. One of the other things we've seen during this is with more remote working, we've seen security threats going up. We've seen attacks, phishing attacks, and individual spear phishing on individuals, and malicious attacks and ransomware going on because you've just moved people from that mentality of being in the office to being more relaxed. I'm working at home. And you're more likely to be switching between your personal email and your work email. And so there's a whole area going on there where it's more likely they're going to get access to a physical device than they are to a cloud service. Nature of the beast, right? Cloud service, the fundamental cloud services, by definition, you have got a much bigger security. It's not that they're infallible, but you've got the big names backing you, and they're concerned about the security of that platform for the breadth of their customers, not just for your business. So particularly for the smaller business, which is the majority of the market in all countries, there are a lot of benefits of what this has raised the profile, I think, to the business owners and the leaders in businesses of actually this new tech, it isn't that hard to get onto, and it's available and affordable. We need to make use of it. So I think it's going to transform how a lot of businesses operate at their fundamental level.
Let me ask you this. I spoke with supply chain influencer last week, seemed to be Norman Katz, and he pointed out to digital divide. And the digital divide between companies, not even small businesses, medium-sized businesses with revenues up to 100 million, it's hard for them to transform, and small businesses with revenues, $10 million a year, right? Those companies are suffering, according to this expert. So what do you say about entry barrier? Because I did point out that, of course, cloud services making it more accessible, but still, you still need to invest. You still need to have people dedicated to that innovation in the company. So could you please comment on company size and what's the future there?
Yeah, I think I agree and disagree. I think that the challenge often in doing the transformation is right. It's not easy, right? It isn't flick a switch. Some applications are easier than others. Some data that you need to move from a legacy app to a new app are easier than others. If it's a particular legacy app, often the transformation of data can be the biggest pain there is, because the older products weren't designed to allow you to port data easily into a transportable format. And often older data and legacy data, you don't want to bring it all across anyway. You want to go through a cleansing exercise, because the habit is, well, bring all the data across, then we'll worry about it. Well, what you've done is moved it from an old system to a new system. And now in the new system, you can't see the wood for the trees. What data do we want to utilize in this system and map and put into this system or not? Well, you don't know, you just moved it all across. So the journey across can be hard. So what I always suggest to people is, map out, think this, when I get a room with people, here's all the objections, we couldn't do it because. I said, right, step back, whiteboard, you were all leaving your business today to form a competitor. Okay. Mm-hmm. What would you do in that competitor? What systems would you build? How would you do it? Based on, the market, what you're doing today, what would you do of what's available in the market? And you often get people then go, yeah, but we could. Now you can do anything, because you're joining a new business. Mm-hmm. I've just waved the wand. All of your ties are gone. You are going to set up a new business that's going to be the shiny competitor to you now. What would you do? And then you get people excited and well, I'd use this, and we could do this. Well, we wouldn't do that this way. Great. Mm-hmm. That's your panacea. How do you get from where you are today to there? What are the easy parts? And there might be, you pick off some easy wins from that. And there might be that a couple of the systems you look at, now you reintroduce where you're at, become the real hard ones that are going to be, oh my God, I don't even want to face that. Okay, what ones can you face that are easy, that you could get done, that would bring value to your business? Because let's be honest, right, there are some legacy applications out there in certain industry sectors that are going to be harder than anything else, or there may be no way. So, for example, in travel, there are a couple of systems, there's more than that, but there's things like Amadeus and Galileo, mm-hmm. which have been around forever. And are they going to suddenly be replaced in the travel industry, where they're used by all the different components of the travel? No, they're not. CICS in the banking industry has been there forever. Transactional system from IBM. So there's certain things underpinning certain industries that you're pretty much tied to, whether you like it or not. But pick your battles, right? And I don't think size of company is the barrier, and price and commercials certainly aren't, because the beautiful thing about the technology world we're in today is it is incredibly competitive and innovative. Mm-hmm. And it is, we know in the cloud computing hosting spaces, it's always been talked about the race to zero. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft keep bringing the price of compute power down and increasing the functionality. That's a dichotomy in itself from historical compute, where prices went up when you got more function. So, whatever work, if you look at CRM, yes, Salesforce is there, Microsoft Dynamics, but there are hundreds of different innovative CRM providers, cloud-based, who are vying for your business. So there's plenty of opportunity to benefit from this, no matter what size of business you are. So I'm not saying it's easy.
It's not. We know it's
not.
Don't
get hung up on the human barrier of it feels hard, so therefore I'm going to stick my head in the sand and not do it because I just can't face up to it. You've just gone through the hardest change that's been experienced. We hear in 100 years there hasn't been anything like this, and we've got through it. Right, we're all working from home. We've all had challenges, but if you can handle what's happened with COVID, you can handle changing a system in your business.
Oh yeah, certainly. And that brings me to the next topic. What about mistakes? Because companies are making mistakes, okay, as always, we're humans, right? So which pain points you see that, again, that's slowing down the transformation and really adding stress and burnouts right now? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what one I've seen and witnessed for years, not just due to COVID, is an over assumption of how easy it is to do something and transform. So let me give you a prime example. If you're a retailer or e-tailer, wouldn't you love to have the engine that Amazon has, right? Incredible, it keeps growing. People keep ordering more and more stuff off of it. Your customers keep coming back. You can't stop people buying. COVID has helped them, but let's talk pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. I've had people look at that and that's what they've aspired to. Oh, we love that model. Great. And so what they've done is gone, well, the technology's out there. AI chatbots are available, and all this stuff, all the, that enables you to do these websites and dynamic content. It's all available. So we'll just rush and buy it, and then we'll be able to do what we'll be the Amazon of our space. And then invariably, it's a lot harder than they think it is. What I say to people is the tech's available, but what you've got to assimilate is how much money and how much effort did it take for Amazon to do that? Like, making something look easy doesn't mean it was. It means they've done a good job. And to achieve what they've got, there's a lot of people there, right? There's a lot of technology and expertise. So yes, they got there, but in the early days, Amazon didn't look like it did today. It's taken them a long time. When they first launched with the book site only, it didn't have one-click ordering. It didn't. Look at Netflix when they started. Was it what it is today? No. They were. If you watch these, there's a nice video on online at the moment that you can watch streamed down about a documentary on Netflix. And when you look what they went through, it was not easy by any means. They didn't just click a button and off they went and adopted things. So don't assume just because technology is available and you can afford the license for the package that you can just turn it on and it does it. Most of these products, the value comes from the configuration. What's been taken away is the pain of installation, the pain and cost of spinning up servers, installing it, getting it ready to log in. That is the easy part today with cloud applications, right? You can be logging in within seconds with a credit card. The value comes from building into these your data and your business processes and expertise to make it relevant to your customer and your business model. That's the hard part. That's the bit that isn't out of the box. You can't just click a switch. And that's the bit I see people underestimate and mistake. They get sold on, just buy it and it will just transform your business. It gives you the capability to transform your business, but it doesn't do it just by definition of because you bought something.
Yeah, we're not here to discourage. We're here rather to encourage that, yes, your business can transform, right? But just have your eyes open, right? And don't...
do your diligence and understand what's involved to get there, right? It's simple. I guess as an example would be, you could buy bricks and mortar and wood and all the components, but do you know how to build a house and do you want to take it on? You could do it, absolutely you could, but just buying the product doesn't mean you've now got the benefit you can live in the warm, right? You've got to take that product and put effort into creating something which then is what you want it to be.
Absolutely. So what tech should people look at in 2021 to improve what their company operations and their individual, work and personal life?
Yeah, so I'll give you a few examples. I'm going to bias a little bit to what I do now as well as part of it. But if you look in general across businesses, it's going to be what don't you have today? Where's the pain in your business, particularly in serving your employee, your internal customer, your employee, and your external customer, right? Because how do you empower your internal staff to be more productive? And what's barrier? I would look at right now. What's the barriers that is preventing them being successful in being productive and/or in communication internally and externally? And for your customer, what's barriering them being able to transact with you, to use your product or service? What's changed, and what would address that? So a couple of examples I think that I witnessed, and I see a lot of businesses have weak areas in that they could easily resolve. One is communication systems like telephony, because it's great using Zoom and Hangouts and things like this for this, but the real world is these platforms, whilst they're being enhanced as we speak, were not designed to be an external phone system. We're all using them for internal chat and communication and for scheduled meetings. But if I want to call you to do business with you, or you want to call into our company to do business, you're not going to do a Zoom call, right? You want to call the company. So people are still going to resort. How many of us during COVID and listening to this have had some problem happen? I had a locksmith out at one point, right? A door lock broke. So how do you communicate with them? You don't look to Zoom. you look for a phone number and
Yeah.
you on the web, and you might send them a message through their website, or you phone them. You know, I've needed the gas people out during this for some stuff to be done. Life goes on.
We phone people, exactly,
So
outside of your organization. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so to do that,
Mhm.
you know, how have you facilitated your business to communicate externally to customers and for them to call in? And I have called a number, even today, contact centers. You know, you call a big corporation and it goes to their contact center. Well, guess what? Their contact center does not have all the people in there that they normally do. And what I've witnessed is a lot of them are skeleton staff at best. You wait forever, or they say, please call us back, please leave a number and we'll put you in a queue. I had to wait 3 weeks for one major company to call me back because I was in the queue.
Mhm.
But when I eventually got the call, the discussion I had was, and if this doesn't fix it, is there a number I can call you back on? No, you resubmit and we'll put you back in the queue for another call. You go back at the back of the queue again. Well, that's not good customer experience. And it's because their phone system was not flexible enough. It's not, new worldy enough to make it that the fact their employees at home rather than at their desk, why should that impact me, the customer? There are so many cloud-based now phone systems that are, across the world, that mean I can be anywhere. I can answer my desk phone on my mobile, on my PC, and I can ring out from it. And you as the customer do not know any different, and nor do I as an employee, except for physically, I've got a different world room that I'm in, right? But everything operates exactly the same. So the business operates and the contact center and everything's up and running. That's how it should be. And that is available from hundreds of different companies today around the world. But businesses are on legacy phone systems, which are impeding them and their capability to provide a customer experience. The other one I'd suggest is something like what I do today, which is gamification, is it motivating your employee. I've had so many conversations over the past few weeks with businesses who are described struggling with our people are remote. Normally they're in the office. Normally we can see what they're doing. They can see what their colleagues are doing. They motivate each other by human interaction. Now they're isolated in a room. Are they as productive? And that means, are they doing enough of the right activities to generate productivity, which equals results for the business? Now that might be support tickets. Are they closing off and calling back enough customers a day? Are they calling 5 less now because they're in a relaxed environment and they get distracted a bit? And does that employee know themselves even? Does that employee know that they are letting themselves down in comparison to the 10 other people, the 50 other people doing the same job as them? Do they know, if you're in the office, you can see, I feel I'm slacking a bit, or I just took too long for coffee and I'm getting the looks. There's no indicator for them anymore. So it's very easy to put a tool in place, again, very quickly and cost effectively, that allows you to give visibility back. You haven't got the wallboards anymore. You haven't got the whiteboard in the office. You don't see a person next to you, or that on the other side, you don't see that they feel that they're working harder than me. You can do that using these cloud and SaaS tools today at home and make them feel part of the team as well. So you can motivate them better, give them more visibility for everyone, including the management, but also just make them feel more part of the team again, drag them back in using a technology.
And technology is not going to serve that. This is really in hands of the leaders, in hands of those who have those teams, right? And whose actually main role now is exactly that, achieving collective productivity, but it goes beyond just work. Ian, thank you. Thank you so very much. So this is the insightful conversation. I do want to leave the audience with a couple of takeaways. Could you summarize a couple of points, maybe tech and people? Okay, in terms of, you did mention technology, you did mention transformation, but what are the points to remember?
Sure. So firstly, a lot of the tech that you've got available to you is only as good as the people using it. So you can deploy all the tech in the world and invest in it, but if people don't get value from it or use it and gain value to your business and to your customer, you've just invested in a nice shiny piece of tech for a tick box reason. So, and particularly at this time, making change, humans don't adapt to change well. Well, they've just adapted to COVID well, working from home, but involve them more than you would if they were in the office, right? Involve them in what's happening and why and how it's going to be better, because too often, even in the normal world, technology changes go on and people feel disruptive and uncomfortable. Well, how are they going to feel now if suddenly you're rolling out a different system or changing things on them? People are stressed already, and you may not be aware of it, right? To your point, we all have different circumstances. How do you know what stresses your team are under? Are they telling you really that they're challenged because the homeschooling is really getting to them because they never get a spare minute? You don't know what problems they've got in their own personal life. So I think, number one, remember it's a people business. The people drive your business. How are you supporting them? How much engagement are you getting with them? Use the technology, the tools here with video. More often, the number of times I get people chat to me and they'll come on a Zoom call or something and not have the video on. Mm-hmm. And I will ask them and stop and say, I hope you don't mind, your video's not working. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll go, oh yeah, well, I haven't turned it on. Do you mind if I ask if you do? Because I really like to make it personal. It helps my day. It helps my day to see people. Right? I wouldn't, if you don't mind. And nearly all of them will turn it on. Mm-hmm. Do that. Don't let people get away with staying away from it. Oh, but my kids are here, or there's black. Don't worry. It's the world we're in. Make it more personable. You can then gauge also how that person is really is. It's very easy with just voice, right, to hide your demeanor. But when you've got visual, you can judge a little bit. Do you know what? So you don't seem yourself today. Can I help at all?
Yeah, a little bit of empathy, I think. A little bit of empathy on both sides, right? To your leaders. Absolutely. And from leaders to people. Yeah, because we live in interesting times for sure. Ian, thank you. Thank you so very much. This is such an insightful talk. Welcome. Thank you. I hope our audience will enjoy, and thank you.